We have an update now on a federal lawsuit filed seeking to stop an offshore wind farm. The Newport Preservation Society has argued the Revolution Wind project 15 miles off the coast of Newport could hurt ocean views.
Now climate activists are weighing in. Sophia Szabo is here now with where things stand. New at 5.
It's been about a year since the lawsuit was first filed, but now the Preservation Society wants a judge to halt the wind turbine project here behind the Newport Mansions before it heads to trial. But climate activists want the case to be dropped completely. August of 2023, the Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management approved these wind turbines for Revolution Wind. The following year, the Preservation Society of Newport County sued the agency, asking a judge to step in. The society claims the agency broke the law by not considering the consequences the project would have on the Newport Mansions and other historic landmarks. Greg Werkheiser is the attorney for the Preservation Society.
We can't have it both ways, where we bend the rules for one industry and not expect that to be harmful when other industries say, well, if it's good enough for offshore wind, why isn't it good enough for coal or fracking?
The Preservation Society believes the site of the turbines 15 miles off the coast will obstruct views of the open ocean. Climate activists are pushing back.
You can barely see the turbines. They're just minuscule on the horizon. The government has decided that these turbines were developed appropriately and according to the law. And Newport Preservation Society is basically trying to whine that they weren't treated properly.
Nick Horton with Climate Action RI says the benefits of renewable energy outweigh the costs, arguing the turbines could power over 350,000 homes when the project is completed, cutting down on energy costs. The Preservation Society's lawyer says they understand the environmental concerns, but they want the federal government to consider design changes to ease the impacts the project will have on their properties.
There aren't many places left like Newport where you can go and basically experience what it was 200-300 years ago with views that are pristine. Would you put 1,000 turbines next to the Statue of Liberty?
Climate Action RI wants the Preservation Society to drop the lawsuit, saying the future of the planet is at stake.
It's particularly offensive that it's coming from an organization that runs mansions back from the Gilded Age, trying to tell the rest of us that we can't try to stop global warming, that we can't try to get renewable energy, because only their interests, the interests of the extremely wealthy, matter.
Orsted, the company behind Revolution Wind, declined to comment on the lawsuit directly. They tell 12 News their projects, quote, received federal construction approvals following years of reviews and scientific studies, as well as public comment and other stakeholder engagement. The Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management declined to comment on the lawsuit, but both sides are expected to argue their case before a judge by the end of the year. In Newport, I'm Sophia Szabo, 12 News.